हाँ मैं हाँ yeah, Hey guys, sorry, I was not in mute. Sorry guys, can you just give me 5 minutes? I'll be back because my daughter is waiting in front of the tuition, so I'll just go and grab her and come back. Okay, just give me 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
Hey guys, sorry I'm back now. Okay, so what we can do, we can start working with some other commands, and we'll see how we can work on the GitHub also, right? So before we are moving to the GitHub in the remote repository, so let me show you some few more commands. I hope whatever the cheat sheet I had shared with you, it has all the commands. Okay, it has almost all the commands. Just do practice all the commands. It's very simple to use those commands, and it has given the descriptions of what is the usage of those commands. You may get questions, a few questions from the GitHub commands, but it will be easy to remember, right? So similarly, there is one more very important command is called as the git status. Okay, what this git status does, it is temporarily status the changes you have made to your working copy, so you can work on something else, and then come back and reply them later on. That means whenever you are working on some Git, like you have created one working directory or one project, and you might be working on this and you have done some changes, right? And same time, you might need to save that one and you want to work with something else. So what you can do, you can simply use the Git stars so that whatever changes would have happened in the working copy will be there intact. It will not get changed, or it will not get undo or reverted back. So it will be there. Once you come back with your work, you can start working from where you had left. So that is the usage of the Git stash. Okay. Now what you can do. So this is a very simple command. You can just go wide. This tag, we don't need it, but we have a few more things which we may need to update it. Okay, so let me just get the server. Okay, I have a server which is created now. So let me use this server. I think the other one I have. So I have connected to the server, and quickly let me install the Git. The server where I had installed the Git has been removed, and with the new server. I think I'll click. Okay, good. So Git is already installed like this. Yeah. So Git is already installed. Fine. Now, what I can do here, which directly I is to use here. So let me show you if anything else. No. Good. So what I can do here, I can create a simple project directory, right? But now, what I do here, instead of creating here, let me show you how we can go ahead and use the same things, whatever we have used in the Git in our last class, how we can use the same thing in the GitHub, in the remote repository, in the web applications, in the front end, okay? How we can use it. So, okay. So here the GitHub, let me just go to that. It will be very simple. What you have to do, you have to simple use github.com. Okay, you have to simply use github.com, github.com, and what will happen? You have to just sign up yourself with this. And remember, guys, this is completely free. This github.com is a web tool or web application or a web remote source code management system where you can easily access and free of cost. You're not going to pay anything for this, and it has some limited private repositories. You can go ahead and create it, but public repositories you can create as much as you can. There is no limit. But private repositories, there is some limit. You can go ahead and create private repositories as well to keep your confidential and secure projects. Okay, so once you connect, I'm not going to show you the sign up how you have to do. It's a very simple web sign up, right? You have to simple just to provide your email address, contact details, and address, and all the required information, and go ahead and just sign up. I need you guys, you can sign up now itself also. Just go to github.com, sign up yourself. Once you do sign up, you'll be landed into a page like this, your dashboard, your home profile, right? Now, you can see here in this account section, right-hand side, right? We have all these information. I'll explain you most of these, which is required, and few of the things which will move on with the GitHub, sorry, with the DevOps, right? That time also will show you, I'll show you few of the development options, development tool and DevOps where you can use it. Okay. Now, if I go to my profile, here we can see the complete details about your profile with what are the things there and what are the repositories being created and what are the popular repositories you have there in this. Okay, now you can see here there's an overview tab and we have these repositories, projects and packages and all these things. I'll just go through these things later on. Now let's go ahead and create a sample repository by clicking this repository section. You can see here I have 35 repositories being created. Most of them are public and few of them, which are my project, I have created as private. See, you can see few of them which are kept as private and most of them are public for the project, whatever we created. Okay, all the projects have been kept it here as public. I will show you the links and you can go ahead and do, when we move on and do the projects, you can, I can show you and you can download or clone the projects. Before that, you should know how to use the GitHub, right? How to use the GitHub and start working. So you can see here, I have 35 repositories. Let me go ahead and create a new repository on the GitHub. There, what you have to do, you have to simply, okay, here is a question. In the Git, to create a repository, what command I should execute and how the process, can you just explain anyone?
Git init, right?
Git init, you can otherwise you can make a directory and then you can do git init command.
Exactly. So you have to create a directory. Directory is nothing but the project folder. Which one you want to make that folder or that particular directory as a repository. So you have to create that folder or directory, and there you go inside that directory and then execute git init. So that will initialize that particular folder or project as your repository, project repository. Okay. Similarly, here we have to simply click on this button. This is the UI form, right? Click on the new repository creations, and it will ask you to provide the repository name. So the great repository names are such and memorable. Need inspiration? It's not fine. So obviously, whenever you provide the repository name, that should be the project specific as per your company standard, as per your company rules or the standard you guys would have set up. You have to give a repository name. You cannot give a repository ABCD or something randomly, right? And that should be memorable and there should be a meaning on this repository name. Suppose I have the project name, suppose finance project. I'll give like finance, right? Something like I can give the company name, like company name, I can suppose keep as Ranjit. And I can give Ranjit, I can give something like this, right? Or you can just give the complete name like FinApp project, something like this, right? You can give the repository name and the give descriptions, and it is optional, but the description always gives more information about the project, about the repository or anything you do the setup, right? So make sure you give appropriate descriptions for anything you do or write in your entire, not only in the DevOps journey, but entire your work or professional in organizations or anywhere you work, right? Give a descriptions like finance application, something like that, right? And you have to select whether you have to make it public or private. You have to, because it is a remote repository, you have to decide what kind of access do you have to provide to your repository, whether you want to provide as public or private. Private means it will be specified or specific to the people working on the project. In that particular project, you have to decide who can see your repositories. So you have to select with private. You have to provide access. You have to provide access to those people to access your repository. And public is nothing but your repository, which will be publicly, globally available for everyone to see it. Everyone to see and access your data inside your public repositories. Be careful wherever you are sharing or keeping your information or project. Make sure that the appropriate access level you are providing. Good. Now just add a README file. So README file, you might have seen in many of the cases, there will be some README files where it contains the details about the project. It's kind of one HTML file. It's kind of one page where all the details about the repositories or projects or anything, you can put it there. This is a very good file where you can add anything, images, videos, links, design, content, everything you can do in the README file. Okay. If you need to learn more about this README file, just learn more. It will give you more hints, more ideas how you can do that. This is not a part of this class, but surely you have to explore by yourself, okay, about this README file. Now add that .git ignore. This will be explained just after this sections. I will explain. This is very important part, .git ignore, and this is must to know this part. I'll explain you after this setup. Okay. Now that's all. And licenses, if you have a license, you can just add it or not. And here we have this particular, this will set as the master as the default branch. So as we have seen earlier in our last class, that when we create a repository in the Git, the default thing will be created as the master, the default branch, the base branch, which will be the master. The default branch is the master branch, right? If you want to change it, to something else, right? How you do it? So here we have the settings. Change the default name in your settings. So if you want to change it something else based on your company standard, based on your company requirement, you have to go ahead and do the settings here. It will be repository settings. And initially for you guys, whenever you create new GitHub account, for you it will be set as main. The default will be main, and you have to change it. Here it was for me main, but I changed to master. Okay. So if I go here, see here the name is master. If you want to keep it, your thing is like ABC, main, or LTL, or something else, right? You have to put it here and update it. And whenever you create new repository, the default repository will be based on the setup you have done. But it is very simple, right? Don't get confused at all. This is you're going to work every time in project, right? Now let's go ahead and let me close this one. Okay, create new repository. Let's go ahead and create it. So what it says, giving us a warning like you are creating a public repository in your personal account. That's okay. Go ahead and create repository. Done. See this readme.mt. The file is having the project details. I have this is the name of this project, right? Name of this repo and the descriptions whatever you have given here. If you want to edit it, we can go ahead, edit this file and put it here, right? So I can just keep and these instructions and all these things you have to just go here there and just go learn more and you'll get more details how to use the readme file, right? I can just give us instructions from the changes. So it gives us the instructions here. I did a mistake. There should be a space here, but I didn't provide any space. Okay. So here there should be space. Sorry, space, right? If I just do changes, see, it gives something. So big heading, right? So this, like this, you can do the changes. This is very simple, not to worry about that. And now we have this particular repository directory. And in this directory, we don't have anything except only readme.md file available. We don't have anything, right? So let's go ahead and add few files here, right? Add few files. Now we can upload if you have any files locally available in your desktop or laptop. You want to upload this file to save in this, you can still go ahead and upload the file, right? Let me upload one file here. I just see index, the index.html file I have deleted it. Nothing is there. Let it be not to add, upload it. Let's go ahead and create a new file. Create a new file. Okay. Suppose index.html, something like it. I just add the new file in this project on something. Index file. Go ahead and commit new file. Done. Index.html file has been created now under this project. Now you can see here, it's very simple, right? You don't have to do anything else. Simple. You just created and committed the file like we did commit, right? Let me create another file. I missed it to show you and explain. Let me give the module 1, or I can just give you style. Something okay. Module 1 dot cpp. Okay. This is cpp file, something like this. Add it, and once you add this file or edit this file, new file, you can see here the commit new file, right? Whenever we are doing in the Git, the local repository, what you used to do, you have to git add to the staging area and then commit it. But here we can directly commit to the master branch. So this branch you can directly commit it, and you have to provide the comment, like we used to provide git commit -m, then provide some message, right? That message you can provide here. Okay, cpp file, something like this, and commit new file. Go ahead and commit new file, right? So I have added new file, right? module1.cpp. If you want to edit any file, see, if I just open this index.html, you can see the file, whatever is written here. If you want to edit this file, you can simply go ahead and edit this particular file. Edited. Now what I can do, similarly, you can add the message or comment, something like this, which should be meaningful, right? This should be meaningful. Now let's go ahead and commit the changes. Now it has 2 commits in this file. It has 2 commits. You can see here there are a few buttons: raw file, raw and blame, and there are something like copy raw content and delete. If you want to delete this file, you can simply go ahead and delete this file. If you can see here the blame, there's a very not good button here. Blame is something like in a project, whenever a few people are working, like few developers, and if someone has done some mistake to the file and you want to blame him, like for this person, the project has broken or something has done very bad, so you can just go ahead and blame it. Okay. But that's not the culture of blaming someone who have done ideally. Help him to correct it or not. If you blame it here, whoever is set up for this project, the managers and everyone, the team, they'll be notified that someone has blamed to someone, right? So it will be going to a label of the messages. So be careful whenever taking this problem. Now we have this file and we have started working something I have just told you, right? Now we have this project. Now how we can get this project cloned or downloaded to our local repositories or to our local desktop or laptop, right? So you can just go ahead and here you can see the code, right? Simply click this code, copy this one, right? And what you can do, simply suppose you have logged in here and I am into this particular directory. I'm into this particular directory. And here I want to clone this one. So simple, what command you have to use? Make it git clone. Then, and what you have to do? You have to copy this, put it here. Then copy and put it here. Hit enter. See, all this project, this particular project, you can see here, whenever you clone this one, it will be, looks like HTTPS and the github.com and the account, the account is Ranjit for GitHub, and then is the project or the repo name. GitHub FinApp project.git. So this is the project name where you have to, which we have to clone it or download to your local. Now, if you see here, if you can see here, all these things have been downloaded, and you can see here one project has been created, FinApp project. Here one project has been created. So let's go to this one. We are into this project folder, right? Let's clear it out. Now, if I do here this, and we have this index.html, module1.cpp, and redmi.mt. All these three files, whatever there in the remote repository, has been downloaded to the local repository. So you can see all these files have been downloaded to the local repository. It means a clone. We just cloned this remote repositories to our local repositories. The command can be used git clone and the repo name. Git clone and the repo name, right? So what I can do here? Now, let me just modify anything in locally here. Let me just modify or add a new file here. Suppose I'll just create a new file, vi module2.cpp. This is just the second CPP file or second module, something like this. I just added that. You have to normally have your code here, right? No, set it. So I just created a file here locally. See, I'm a developer or DevOps engineer. I created an automations file here. So what you can do here? We added the file in locally. If I just go ahead and check here, just refresh it, right? See, nothing is there. Only 3 files have been created. Only 3 files have been created. Now what I can do here, if you want this, all the things, whatever has been created and updated and modified, should be reflected or should be kept in the remote repository, you should use the command git push. Okay, so we can use git push. Okay, what I can do, I have to simply suppose do some changes. Whatever the changes I've done, I want to push to the remote repository. So what I have to do, I have to use origin master. So the origin will be our remote repository, and the master repository, whatever is there, it will be updated. So hit enter. Now, it is asking for the username. It is asking for the username for this, right? So what I can do, just provide a username. So I just actually hit it 2 times. So the username tool has gone. Now it is asking for the password. Now, so why it's asking for the username? Normally, you have to provide the username, and because without the username, how GitHub will understand where it has to be cloned or where it has to be pushed, right? Let me just come out from this here. Before that, what you have to do, not to ask the username, we have to just do the username setups, like the origin setups. Okay, so what you have to do, there is a command called git remote set URL. Git remote set URL or add origin. Okay, so what you can do, git remote add origin. Let me copy this one. And what you need, the origin is nothing but your repo name, right? Complete with the repo name, put it here. So what I did, git remote add origin, and this is the account and this is the project. Hit enter. Remote origin already exists. Okay, that's fine. Now what I can do, I can just put git remote set URL to the URL. Git remote set URL. What is this? Why is not taking? Which has set URL. I forgot to add if origin. Set URL origin. Okay. Now, if I just do again, git course origin master. See, it's not asking again for the okay. Normally it will ask for the username. Okay, I'll show you differently how we can do the setup. Let's provide the username.
I think first time it will
Yeah, first time yes, and then it will be automatically changes. Okay. So what happened here? I just put it the account name here, and then you have to just provide the password. So normally what happens, this password is not your login password. The password, whatever you have used to log in this account, this is not the same password. Okay. So how you have to use the password? You have to generate a token. You have to generate a personal access token. Okay. PAT, personal access token, and that will be most useful whenever you work on the project. Okay. So how you will create it? Just go to your sections here, go to settings. Okay. Now just go to the developer setting here. Remember, first you have to go to the account here, your account section, settings, and then come to the developer settings. Click on this. In this developer setting, we have this personal access token. Click on this, and what I can do, use the classic one, tokens. Now, what I can do, create or generate new token. Okay, generate token. So I have used multi-factor authentication so that what happened, whenever I just connect for security reason, it is sending code to my mobile number, okay, to my mobile where the application is installed. So as soon as I approve this number 39, it will automatically get connected. Let's see, I approved it and automatically get connected. So this is for extra level of security I have set up with my GitHub account. That you can do the setup when you do the sign up. Okay. Now just give a note. Suppose this is for demo. Create something like this. And the expiration. How long do you want the token to be active? 7 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and all this, right? Suppose I give us 7 days. I gave us 7 days. The expiration of the token which you are going to create. 7 days. Okay, then select the scopes. What are the scopes you want to provide? Whether you have to provide as a repo or workflow, all this based on the requirement, user access, right? And admin, based on the things you can just go ahead and provide, right? This is up to you to understand what is the, you have to read through all these details about, okay, about, and then you have to go through and provide the appropriate access label, right? Now go ahead and generate token. So my token is created. I can see here this token, right? This is the token, and keep this token safely somewhere else for your future reference. So once you go out from this page, you'll not get this token again. Okay, let me just copy somewhere this token for our class we use, right? So what happened here? I just use this one, this token. Now what I can do here, go ahead, copy this token, right? Go here and put it. So what happened? It says everything up to date, right? Now, if I go, let's check, go to the repo in our project. What it says, everything is updated. However, nothing has done changes, right? Now, what I can do here, simply let me see git branch. I'm into the master branch, right? So add this one, why this not behaving properly? Remote origin already exists. Now let's do the git push origin master. Okay, you can just use git push -u origin master. Provide a username, okay. Hit enter and the token. Let's go and copy the token. I think, okay, I have come out from this page, right? So I'll not get it again. So I have saved somewhere here. Let's copy this. Okay. So what happened here? Branch master set up to track origin and master, but it's not able to push this to remote directly. Just give me a second. Let me check it out and refresh this page.
Ranjit, like I have a question. Like -u, like what is it? -u.
This -u is actually asking for the user to everything to add to that. Okay. So what happens here when you use the -u, push -u origin master, it will just ask you to push the user, right? What you user to adding to this one. Now let me forcefully add it. Even though I use push origin master, it is not updating that. It is not adding it to that. This origin right master. Forcefully I'm doing the changes. Let me get the token. Okay. Here is a question for you guys. Why it is behaving like this? Here is a question for you, and it's a very good questions. I missed something. That's why it is showing up to date. Can anybody tell me what I missed? What steps I missed?
I think that global user.name and global user.email we didn't add.
That's okay. That's not required. It is for tracking purpose. That's for audit purpose. Like for logs, it will show you, right? If I do git logs, it git log. It should give. It's already been added. If it's a git log, then it will just show you. Even though you've not added, it will give you the default whoever has logged in, right? So it's okay. So what else I just see in this one? What happened? I added one file, right? So if I do git status, what I did, I simply
not committed.
Yes. Exactly.
Yes, yes.
I have not committed this. That means the local and remote is still up to date. Nothing changes, right? Git is tracking. So whenever we have not committed anything, it's not added into the local repository. So nothing is tracked. Everything is on track here, whatever I created. So what I have to do, I have to simply do git add, then git commit locally -m and give a message like created global. Something like this. I gave it, right? I created and committed the file. Now let's time to suppose I need to do this type in origin master. Now provide the account name like GitHub. Okay, and give the token. So very careful whenever you are working. Put the token here. Good. Now you can see it has been pushed to the origin, to the master, to the remote repository. So if I go here and refresh this one, we'll have see module.cpp created locally and has been just now it has been pushed. Now you saw how we can do the changes, and if you want to update your local to the remote repository, you can go ahead and update these things in the link. Now, so here what we did, we locally created or updated something and then pushed back to the remote. Now what you can do, we can simply go ahead and create something here, and then you will see how we can update it into the local repository. All right. There is very good questions also I'll ask, and I'll tell you, and that those questions also you may get in interviews also as well, right? That new file, I'll just create as a new one like module3.cpp suppose, right? This is module 3.5. This is module 3.5.
Ranjit, like, can we create files with different type of extension?
That is up to you. That is up to you. You can add ABC, whatever, Java, whatever. That's based on the project, right? I said based on project. Suppose you want to create a Python file, you can add .py, suppose, right? Module3.py. Simply go ahead.
So the CPP, that is stands for CPP means actually.
That is for C++, something like this. C++. You can just give Java here, right? Extension Java, right? Or you can text file. Suppose you can give txt. This is just merely just a name.
Okay.
Extension does not matter. Based on your project, based on your requirement, you have to create the file. If your Java project, all the years extension must be Java or XML or config file, CNF, right? You can just give CNF, right? Or you can give INF, information file, or you can give MG, right? You can give SQL. If it's a database file, you can provide .SQL. It's up to you, the requirement, what is. Simply, I'm just giving project name as C++ project or something. Suppose here, I'm just going to create a file module on Python file, right? So,
okay.
This is a Python module. This is a Python module, something, some meshes, meaningful meshes I provided, Python module. Okay. Now what I can do here, let's go ahead and commit new file. Python 3 file is added. Now what I can do here, if I go here and check, nothing will be there, right? In locally, because I simply added into the remote repository. So how we can get, how this file can get reflected locally? You have to use it pull origin master. Git pull origin master. Hit enter. See, it automatically pulled it out because already we have given once this account already during this one, it will automatically get saved in the local repository. So automatically it's being pulled out. And if I do here, see, our module3.py has been pulled out from the remote repositories, right? So make sure whatever you are just doing and what other things is required based on your requirement. Now module 3 has been, you can see it has been pulled out and has been started kept. Now, in our last class, we had seen how branches we create, how we have to check out, right, to a new branch and start working. Normally, whenever a developer, DevOps engineer, they don't have to work on the master branch, right? What they have to do, they have to just create a new separate branches and there they have to work on it, right? Similarly, here, it will be very simple, very easy way to create the branches. How we'll do, you can see here, we have one branch. In this file, we have one branch, and you can see here, drop down, we have master branch alone. We have one branch, which is called master branch, one branch. Now we want to create another branch. So whenever you click on this, you can see here, find or create a branch. Now give a name to the branch feature. Suppose something nice, Dev -1.0, something like this, right? And here, create branch, asking the option to click on this, create branch feature /Dev -1.0 from master. That means it will create a branch feature /Dev 1.0 from the master branch. Click on this. It will create from the master branch. So it has been created from the master branch now. And now see, I have two branches now. I have two branches now. Now see, two branches, the master and Dev. But if I see locally, git branch, is there anything? No. If I do git branch -a all, so we have only master branches there, nothing is there, right? Now, how that branch, whatever we created just now, will be reflected locally? Again, you may need to pull it out. Okay, now if I do git, is it correct, guys? Whatever the things I updated, still it is not there. Why it is not reflected? This is a question for you. We should not pull the master branch, right? We created a new branch, so we have to pull the
Give the name that branch name.
exactly. So you have to pull the, so just listen and see what I'm doing, right? You have to pull the branch name. So the branch name we have given as feature /Dev -1.0. See, it's pulled it out. Now, if I do git branch -l, sorry, -a, it gives us the new branch called feature Dev 1.0. Feature Dev 1.0. Suppose, and here currently I'm into the branch master. If you want to check out to this branch, you have to simply do the checkout, like git checkout, right? Then give the branch name. So switch to new branch feature now. That's locally. So I'm just showing you how you can work in the GitHub in the remote repository, and simultaneously how you can work on the Git local repository as well. Because see, it's depend on you and how your working style, how you follow the working standard in your company, right? You either directly can work in the remote repository because it has all the facilities, it has all the similar ways to create it. You don't need your local repositories to be created and work. But what is the benefit of using the local repositories? Because as it is a web application and we need the internet connections to remotely connect to this github.com and start working. Suppose from there, you've got some internet access disconnections, right? Then what will happen? Or there is some issues with this github.com and there is a slowness. If that may cause impact, then that may impact your work, right? You may not access the server to work. At the same time, if you would have copied, if you have cloned and downloaded the projects to your local repositories, and you will have local access because you have the laptop, it does not require the internet connections to work or develop something, right? You start working once the internet is resumed or the slowness is fixed or something, or the application is wasn't fixed, then you can start pulling or pulling whatever you want, right? That's the benefit of using local repositories. But as I said, the standard or the culture, the process you follow in your company, it's or in your project, it's up to you, right? How you can work on that. So now I have the switch to the Dev branch, Dev 1. Feature Dev 1.0 branch, or we can just use feature 1.0 branch, right? Now what I can do here, I can simply do ls-l here, and we have these files now, right? Now let me put these things to, let me create or modify some file. Suppose I'm just going to modify this module 3 .py file. Okay. This file loaded from the node. Something like something I have it here, right? Now save this file. I have modified the file here. Now let's add git add and commit it, because without commit it will not work, right? Commit, have an yum, something like I gave this tests. So file has been committed now, and it is into the feature dev branch. But this one, this file, whatever I modified, right? Module 3 file, it has 2 lines. If I switch back to master branch, it will not be there, right? Master, if I just do module 3, it has only 1 line. But in this branch, we have 3 lines, right? Still, master does not have one. Okay, now what I can do here, everything has been created. So what I know, let me just switch back to the dev branch, feature dev branch. Dev, I can branch. Okay, so what happened? Feature dev 1.2. Good. So I have modified this file. Now what I can do, I need these changes, whatever I did locally, to be reflected here. So here in the remote, also it is not updated. This particular branch, right? In this dev 1.0, it has not reflected. So let me push it. Let me hit push origin master, not master. I have to put it to feature dev 1.0, right?
Yes,
Make
yes.
sure you're updating to feature dev 1.0. So username, it is asking again. Okay, that's fine. Then you should and provide the token. So if I go here and refresh this page, see, it has now updated, but it's updated only the feature dev branch. But if I go to the master branch here in the GitHub, we have still 1. Then we have to merge the we have to merge the branch into the master. So when you have to merge the file to the master, this is a very real-time questions, right? And real-time understanding. When you have to merge the thing to the master. When you make sure the branch, whatever you have created and the changes you have done, right, has been tested and has been deployed successfully, and the smoke test after deployment has been completed, and you have received a green signal from the team, from the production support of the team, and you can see the project has been deployed successfully, then you can merge back the branches, the release branch, or whatever the branch you are working. As I explained to you before, the workflow, Git workflow, or the branching strategy, how you have to set up this. Like here, I've created a feature branch. You might need to create a release branch or something based on your company requirement. And that release branch you may need to deliver or deploy to the production, right? Once the production success and smoke test is done, you may need to update the release branch to the master branch. Suppose here, we are okay with this feature one day and it's successfully done. Now, how will merge this? See, it's simple. We have this code. Let me go to this spin-up project. And once you go to this particular branch, you will see one message here, compare and pull request. Compare and pull request, right? Click on this compare and pull request here and give a message, whatever the message you want. I'll give a suppose a comment test, and you have to create a pull request. So here, either you can create a pull request and draft pull request. I don't want to draft it. Simply go ahead and create pull request. So what happens here? It is given merge pull request. Now there you have to use git merge and the required branches to merge where you have to merging, right? Similarly, here also, you can see here, wants to this particular account, the user wants to merge master from this branch. That means this branch is going to be merged to this particular branch, right? Now you can see here, merge pull request, but before that, normally what happens? We must have some reviewers in the real time. How you here, actually we don't have any users available to add it, right, in the organization on the GitHub account. That's why we don't have any reviewer to be added here to add it. So what happened? Normally you can assign something, you can label it, you can create a project, you can create a milestone, you can assign some reviewer. So let me explain you what is the usage of this reviewer. Guys, why I'm just telling you all these things, this is everything, whatever I'm just telling you is the advanced one, and you are definitely going to work. This is how we are working in the company. Okay, so you must have to add a reviewer to review the changes, whatever has been made is tested or correctly done before you are merging to the master or somewhere else. So you have to add a reviewer here. So there are no reviews has been given, so no reviewers have been added. So you can see here, we don't have any reviewers created yet. Okay, I'll show you in the later phase how we can go ahead and create the reviewers there. Okay, so request up to 15 reviewers. You can add here up to 15 reviewers. Okay, here's the owner. This guy is the owner, right? You can just, if you want to edit it, you can just edit and copy link or whatever you want. Now, for the time being, let me show you how we can do the merging requests, right? Simply, you can see this branch has no conflicts with the base branch, no conflict, merge pull request. So what you have to do, you have to simply click on this merge pull request. Confirm merging, yes. So now, pull request successfully merged and closed. Then, now if I go to this branch, and if I go to the master, we have see now. So you can see here, we have the both master and this branch is up to date because I merged this branch with the master branch. Now, suppose tomorrow some new developer, new DevOps engineer comes and he wants to create it, you can simply go ahead and go to the master and create a new branch. And suppose I'll just add a feature 1.1. Done. So here we have now, if I go here, we have now 3 branches. See, we have 3 branches. If I click it here, we have master branch, default branch, feature dev, feature 1.1. We have 3 branches now. Similarly, anyone has come and start working and update that one and work on that. So this is how you have to working on the branching and all these things. Now, there you can see any issues. You can just go here and you can find it if there are any issues. What are the pull request pending for that? You can just review, you can check it and review it here. And Git actions, I'll explain you these things in our DevOps things, how we can check these actions things and work on that. Okay, we have these projects and how this project's being set up, right? Insights, securities, and all. So if I go to the security sections, this is the part of this particular repositories. All these options, whatever you're seeing, right? All these things part of this project, right? Go to the settings, and these settings we have lots of things, and which will start working few of them when we move on and working on the different things, these actions, webhook, and all these things. Okay, all this about the settings and all. Now, if I go here to this particular account sections, and we'll see something like organization, right? Your profile, your repositories, and you have to find it in your organizations. What is this organization? If I go to the organization, you can see here, I have this one organization called as DevOps Rise. So what is the benefit of the organizations and why you need to create it? Let's understand the broader aspect and just the real time. And we have to actually create organizations because, see, this is kind of segregate your projects. It's kind of individually create, or you can kind of isolate your projects and all from the world and keep it there. Like if you have a team and or one account, right? Or one account, LOB, a line of business, and there you have one organization. In one LOB, suppose you have multiple projects. In one LOB, suppose you have multiple projects, and you want to create an organization based on the LOB, right? Then what you can do, you have to set off the organizations. As I've created one organization here, and you can simply go ahead and create organization. It's very simple. So you can simply click on this new organization and see. It has the plan for enterprises, for team, this for monthly usage, how much you have to pay for this if you are going to create advanced team. See, whatever we are using so far is the free versions, right? As I said, every open source has their enterprise versions. The open source is actually meant for the free, for the development, for the R&D, for the people to use it, and they have their other versions where it will be chargeable. And most of the companies, they used to go with this enterprise versions, which is the 19.25 per user per month. Per user per month. That's right. The number of user you create, you have to pay, multiply this one. So you have to pay. And what you have to get lots of other facilities and usage, all the features of the GitHub. Similarly, here also we have get it, and we have free things, right? So you can use what are the three things available for you. Now, what happens is good things actually, it's giving unlimited public or private repositories for free users also. Earlier it was providing very limited private repositories you can create, like 5 to 10. Now it is giving entirely private, as many as private repositories you want to get, you can go ahead and create it. Okay, that is the private repository. So this is what you have to do it. Now, what I can do here, okay, leave it for that. Now you can go ahead and choose any plan, whatever plan you want, and click on this create free organization, and you go ahead and create the organizations. Okay, now that is once you create organizations, it will be coming here in this dashboard. Suppose I have one organization here. If I go this organization, I have this organization, I have few details available in these organizations also. Okay, now if I go this DevOps Rise, this one particular organizations, I have same thing. This is one of the organizations where you have created the repositories or the projects. Similarly, you can go ahead and use the account. Suppose here I have used the organizations, right? Now, if you want to see any organization, number of organizations, if you want to work, keep this organization, and there you just create the repositories. Like the repositories I created in the account, similar ways, you can go ahead and create the repositories here as well. Click on this repositories, go ahead and create this new repositories. Okay, now let's go ahead, go to your profile, and as here you can see, it comes on my run sheet for GitHub, right? Similarly, what are the organizations or account you create, it will come like this. Okay, this is about the organizations, and all the companies, how the real time they work, we create the projects actually. So we create the projects, and this project we create multiple repositories and start working that. So you can go ahead and create new project. So once we move on and start working this, we'll create project and start working on that. Okay, so this is how you have to work in, and whatever the things I just explained about the repositories creations, I created the repositories, I created the repositories and clone it and all these things. So you can just simply go ahead and do this creations and all. That's all, guys, for this Git and GitHub. Whatever things we have learned so far, I always, guys, tell you to do practice. So today, don't delay, create an account with github.com and then start exploring yourself by creating new repositories and whatever the things we have executed today, and just execute and get it done. Don't delay further. Okay. Any doubts or anything, you just let me know. I'll just answer your queries. Okay. That's all, guys, for today's class. We can meet up tomorrow with new tools. And if you have doubt anything, and the rest of the things which we have left, I think most of the things we have completed and covered. Anything we left, we'll cover in the DevOps channel, in the upcoming DevOps classes. Okay.